Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Thursday, September 8th, 2022. The most important day of the first week of the September. So let's just find out what is so important today. GDP data from Japan had been published overnight, and for the second quarter the actual reading was 0.9%, which beats the expectations of 0.7% and the previous reading of 0.5%. However, this is not even close to the key event of today. The key event is, of course, the ECB Interest Rate Decision that is scheduled for release 2:15. Together with this event, we got deposit facility rate, ECB marginal lending facility, and then of course the monetary policy statement, and 30 minutes later there's ECB press conference, and 4:15 there's ECB President Lagarde speech. So very interesting schedule is here presented, especially if you take into the account that the market participants expect the ECB to hike the interest rate from 0.5% to 1.25%. Any hike bigger than that will spike a massive rally on the euro dollar. So please be very focused, stay vigilant around 2 o'clock, because the market participants might get surprised. What are other events of today? Initial jobless claims from the US will be published at 2:30. We have a speech from the Fed Chairman Powell 3:10, and then at the end of the day we got crude oil inventories scheduled for release at 5 p.m. The key event of today is, of course, the euro-dollar interest rate, ECB interest rate decision. So let's take a look at the euro and euro-related pairs. Euro-dollar 4-hour chart is showing already some kind of an anticipation of the interest rate hike to 1.25%. The last low was made at the level of 9,866. Right now we are just testing the parity level, because the market broke above the trend line that is visible on the 4-hour chart. As you can see here, we made a local low at 1.0011, and right now the market is consolidating around this level, because the market participants will likely wait for the ECB to officially announce their decision, and then of course we might continue the movement. And if there is a big surprise, like instead of 1.25 there will be like 1.5, 1.75, 2% or more, because everything here is possible, then of course we will have a massive spike that might easily take out this high 370. So if there is a big surprise, 370 pips rally is not a problem. However, if there is no surprise and the ECB will act as planned or as anticipated, then of course we might have some relief rally towards the technical resistance 1.0090, 1.0122. However, if there is no hike, there will be a very big sell-off, because the market participants expect something positive from the ECB is in form of the interest rate hike. If they get disappointed, then plenty of people will leave the euro and start buying the dollar even more. Right now, of course, the dollar is on the elevated levels, but it doesn't mean that it cannot go even higher. What is going on the euro to the Japanese yen? Let's find out. Euro to the Japanese yen on a 4-hour chart has hit the level of 144.19. Let me just find out what is that level. That level is the high from the June, from the July, and so on. So this is the level which is very, very important for the market participants. As you can see, ABC correction is done. The level of 133.21 had been tested. We have a very nice bounce, and it looks like this bounce might be counted as an impulsive, because there is a wave 1, there is wave 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave 3. So it looks like the euro to the Japanese yen wants to go higher, especially after yesterday's almost Marubozu candle on the daily time frame chart. Very, very strong momentum. Of course, markets condition are right now on the daily time frame chart are now extremely overbought, so some kind of a pullback is of course expected. However, please notice the fact that this market is still in the long-term uptrend. This is why the market participants might be much more willing to continue the uptrend than to reverse this trend and start something different, like for example the consolidation or the downtrend, right? So it looks like the euro versus the Japanese yen might be flying higher, especially after the ECB interest rate decision. What is going on then on the euro to the British pound? Any change here? And very, very interesting price behavior on the euro to the British pound. Look at this. We have our channel. We can adjust this channel a little bit. There you go. This is our channel. It used to be kind of a helpful. Now it's not. The level of 8,549 has been violated. Very, very strong momentum to the upside. We are approaching on the daily time frame chart the highs from the middle of the June, 8,722. If we break above this level, then of course the market might travel even higher. So where is the next target for the euro to the British pound? Well, if this level is violated, then the next target would be somewhere around 8,860. So it's roughly more than 140 pips higher. So please keep an eye on this development. We got very nice bounce here from the technical support. The market doesn't want to go lower, and definitely today's interest rate decision might add fuel to the fire and spike this market even to the much more higher levels. And last but not least, let's take a look at the US dollar index. Why? Because we got this situation here. I've been talking about it a little bit yesterday. However, today we got the confirmation. It looks like this bearish engulfing pattern after the new higher high was made, 110.76, is the perfect example of how this market is right now under the pressure of the very low level of the euro. Basically, euro dollar is below the parity, so the dollar was surging towards the new swing high, new uptrend high as well. However, this daily time frame chart bearish engulfing pattern might suggest and might even indicate that the euro dollar is ready for a bounce, for a higher bounce, and the US dollar index is ready to drop for the corrective cycle. The last corrective cycle was minus 4.26%. Well, I'm curious how big this corrective cycle will be. Today's data from the US economy might trigger some interesting moves here, but the point is that this market are right now in line. The euro dollar market and the US dollar market. The euro dollar is ready to go up. US dollar index is ready to go down. Very interesting situation, very interesting technical indicators. If the news announcements in form of the ECB interest rate decision and the US data will trigger the move, the proper move. What I mean is US dollar index down and the euro dollar up, then of course we might see some sort of the pause in downtrend on the euro dollar and the uptrend on the US dollar index. So please, again, stay vigilant, stay focused. It looks like we might have some period of a different market moves because of the very interesting levels that had been recently set, had been recently hit on various markets like euro dollar or like, of course, US dollar index. That's everything for me for today. Please be with me tomorrow for another bunch of technical analysis, and please remember quarter past two ECB interest rate decision today, the most anticipated event of the week. Thank you very much. Take care and bye bye.